This video is how to launch WebTech. Multiple ways to do this. Start button. You'll see here that I have it showing as a shortcut. I will show you how to put a shortcut there in a second. If it's your first time doing it, you may not have a shortcut anywhere. So you want to go to Start, All Programs, and then find Tradewinds in the list of programs. Tradewinds for me is listed just outside of your viewing area. What you can do is you can, and I'll see if I can drag it into the viewing area. There we go. So there's Tradewinds and WebTech. So it's listed as WebTech, and then there's a link for tech support, which is going to have more functionality in the future. Currently, you click WebTech, and what will happen is that this launching application window will open. WebTech does a couple of things upon launching. The first thing it does is it checks to see if it has an active internet connection. If it does not, you will get a message box. Currently, that message box indicates the following. Tradewinds has encountered a problem and needs to close. It's a very generic message. It looks like something's wrong with your computer. There is not. You simply do not have an internet connection. If you think you have an internet connection, try and open a web page and confirm that you are able to open a web page. But that 99% of the time, if you get that message, the reason is because you don't have a connection. We will be customizing that message so that when WebTech checks, if it does not see an internet connection, it's going to say, you currently do not have an internet connection. WebTech will require one. Please, something of that nature. Please try and confirm an internet connection and retry. The second thing WebTech does is it checks to make sure it's the most up-to-date version. There are several versions as we've created it, and happily now we're rolling them out much less often, but they're numbered. And if you have version 60, but we are on version 61, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to provide a link for you to update WebTech. You're going to have the option to update or skip. Typically, unless there's some extenuating circumstance, which I won't get into the details of now, you're going to update WebTech. And what it will do is it will run through a series of prompts to basically run the program. As you go through those prompts, you never want to save the program, because what you'd be doing is saving a version of a program that will ultimately not be up to date. And so now you're going to have a copy of a program, although there's nothing wrong with that copy. Ultimately, it's not going to be an updated version. So don't save it. There's no need to. All you need to do is click the Run button. You're going to be prompted to install, and you're going to click Install. The other thing you may see is a warning that says Publisher could not be verified. Don't worry about that. We know the publisher. We hired the publisher ourselves. We are the publisher. We're not a Microsoft partner, so Windows doesn't recognize us as a trusted publisher. But that don't worry about that. Don't let that alarm you. You just click Install. You will see a download take place. It's approximately 3 megabytes. That should be a fairly quick download on a decent internet connection, probably under a minute. And then after that, you will get the login box, as you see here. The other way in which you can launch WebTech would be to create a shortcut. Now, basically, I go over to here. I can right-click on WebTech, and I can go Create Shortcut. If I create shortcut, it'll basically create one right where I am now. But one thing I can do is hit copy. Now, if I hit copy and then I close this dialog, here I am on my main page. I can right-click here and paste shortcut, and that will paste a WebTech shortcut. Basically wherever I paste it. You can move that around. You can put it anywhere you want, and if you don't want it, you can delete it. Remember that if you go to delete a shortcut, you're not deleting the program. All you're doing is deleting a shortcut. Although this says, are you sure you want to send WebTech to the recycle bin? All you're doing is sending a shortcut to the recycle bin. No big deal. The other thing you could do is you could paste it here. And looks like I clicked the wrong button, but you can create a shortcut on this menu bar. So basically, that's how you open and launch WebTech. Whoops, I maximized the login box. Currently, the way you'd log in, and this will be the final thing I do here, is you enter your employee number, your 4-digit employee number, and then you enter the current password. This password will be changing regularly for security purposes, but it will be common to all technicians. Click Login, and you will get the working window. The working window is letting you know that something is happening. And as that bar fills in, you will see that the information is being downloaded to your local database. And sometimes the time that this happens is going to vary. It's going to vary based on the internet connection you have. It's going to vary based on how much information is being downloaded. If you are downloading maintenances and you have 6 jobs and some of them are on sites where we've been to them quite often, you're going to have some history in there. Targets have 20, 25 pieces of equipment versus a GameStop that might have 1. So your download times are going to vary, and just expect that. Expect that this will vary. The green dots on the bar actually have some significance. If you run into a problem where you have an error, if you are able to count the number of green bars that you have when that error occurred, we can help diagnose that. It's somewhat similar to having a code on a car for emissions purposes. If the light blinks 6 times, then that means that the oxygen sensor is bad. So it's the same sort of a thing. I am actually making this recording at my home office. I have a wireless connection to a wireless router, which is typically a pretty good connection. And yet this is, as you can see, probably took a minute, maybe a minute and a half. So have some patience. I have heard reports of people running out of patience and then trying to close it and then having it say that it's stuck. I would suggest that you just have patience. And now WebTech is up and running, and you're ready to go. To close WebTech, you just hit the X button. As you're working through the day, I'd recommend leaving it open. There's really no reason to close it. If you need to refresh, you can. However, I would suggest just leaving it open, and if you need to, minimize it. And that's all for this video. Thank you.